Hello gamers, this is Girl Gamer Plays, and I really thank those who have been watching my videos, regardless of the very crappy quality. Yes, I realize I need to invest in a capture card or a better video camera or a DVR or PVR or something alike. Sorry, I haven't quite got that summer job yet that I need. But enough about that. What you're about to see here is another pink gun gameplay. This time it's a Remington shotgun and has a cherry blossom camo on it. Free for all. And this was pretty awesome how this went down. I do have rendered versions, so if you want to check those out, you can look at my YouTube channel Jack Attack or at my Girl Gamer Plays channel on what's it? GamerClips.tv. You can check that out. But I'm gonna do a brief commentary about the sad news I heard today. Now, you probably have seen my other video where I talked about this topic, and I had shown my unopened God of War PS Vita game. And let me just tell you this, at the time I was debating saving up for the Vita itself for getting this game brand new, because I definitely want it brand new on the Vita. I'm not going for used for that one, I'm just not. And so I decided to pick up that game. But yeah, here's the topic that I discussed while showing that game in the other gameplay. And I talked about, briefly, these two 12-year-old girls who decided to murder a 12-year-old friend of theirs, another girl, because they wanted to pay homage to a fictional character. Now, this fictional character, which by the way was just pointless, I couldn't get the guy to save my life, but this fictional character that they wanted to pay homage to, it was Slender Man. Why on earth would Slender Man influence you to kill someone? I'm sorry, I just don't get it. I mean, these poor girls, these poor 12-year-old girls, mind you, they're not even 13 yet, these poor things. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, if you've ever seen the game or played the game, you probably wouldn't even think it was violent. Like, seriously, you're looking for 8 pages. And I don't, excuse me, my nose again. I don't really know what happens at the end of the game, but I've seen people play it. And, you know, they say it's the scariest game out there. Trust me, there are scarier games out there. There were scarier games out there on the PS1 before this thing was even made. I'm pretty sure. I don't know the history of it in and of itself, but I'm sure there were scarier PS1 games. At least I know I've seen some scarier PS1 games before Slender Man came out. And the only reason why Slender Man would even be mentioned as scary is because A, it's pretty dark, and you only have a little bit of peripheral vision, I guess you might want to call it, with the flashlight that you're given. Number 2, the first time you actually begin the game, you only hear your footsteps. You know, maybe some of the background noise, like bugs and maybe some wind blowing, but that's it. And then, you know, I think there's blood in some rooms. There's a chair turned over in one room. I do remember seeing that once. Their pages, now, I don't know if the pages have blood on them or if they're just like scratch marks that are kind of funny, but they say things like help me and such. What else? Excuse me. When the Slender Man comes up, there is that horror music, you know. But even then, it's not like you see slash marks, like something clawing at you. You can hardly even see what the Slender Man looks like when you get caught. In fact, I'll give this away for people who haven't seen it, just to show you how quote-unquote non-violent this really is. Now, when you get caught by the Slender Man, you kind of see the Slender Man kind of teleport one way to the other way, to the other way, to the other way. I think they come closer to you, but there's a bug show type thing going on. Like, the screen starts to turn into that, like, bug show thing, if you've ever seen those old TVs, and that weird sound, you see all those, like, white and black and gray dots. Like, I have an old TV, and it's actually the TV that's holding this flat screen up right now. This TV, whenever there wasn't a channel that was working, there would actually be black, white, and gray dots kind of buzzing around like bugs. So basically that's kind of what happens. It's like a static thing. And then that's it. You lose the game. But there's nothing red there at all. There's nothing to indicate that Slender Man is actually, literally, necessarily taking her life, per se. So, yeah, like, there's not even, like, a graphic death in the game. So I just don't get what on earth influenced these girls to do what they did. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I am forever lost on this. Now, I'll play a couple of advocates on this, too. I'm going to start with the Devil's Advocate. Now, Devil's Advocate would say Slender Man is not a violent video game. You know, yeah, there's blood on the wall, there's a chair turned over, there's pages that may or may not have things like "help me" written in blood. There's, you know, it's dark, but it ain't that dark. You got a flashlight. You can hear things. You can see things. You know, you're not doing any killing. You don't hold any knives, shotguns. Hell, you don't even hold a pencil to stab anybody with, or a pin to stab anybody with. You know, Slender Man isn't even scary in and of himself. He isn't. So yeah, this game isn't violent. There's no reason for the girls to do what they did. They just did it. Now I'm going to do something called play Angel's Advocate. Now, an Angel's Advocate would say, for starters, the game is dark. Period, paragraph, finish story. If you will not let light be, you know, if there's no light there at all, that's a problem. If there's little light there, that's still a problem. You know, the place looks creepy. You're in this really dark woodland area. You know, obviously woods, natural woods would not have lights, like, you know, lanterns or torches or flashlights. They don't have that naturally. So, that in and of itself is pretty dark. That has potential for a violent act to occur. You could be killed by a deer, for Christ's sake, you know, in the dark. The deer would be better than you. This is how it works. There is blood on the floor. There's a chair turned over. This chair may or may not have blood on it, but there's blood around the area. That's pretty violent. Where the blood comes from, who knows? How the blood gets there, who knows? But it's blood. So that's violent. Did it come from Slender Man himself? Maybe he cut himself just to make it look, you know, like something violent happened. Maybe no one actually died there, who knows? Still violent. You got a page that says, "Help me." Yeah, that's a problem. Why would somebody say, "Help me," unless something violent was going on? You know? What else is there? Oh, the Slender Man himself. You know, he's wearing black. He has, like, a gray head, no face, to show for. That's pretty demonic. Everything, even evil to a degree, has a face, but still, pretty demonic, to be honest. Apparently, or at least according to these people who created a Slender Man version in Soul Calibur 5, according to them, Slender Man has long blade claws, about 3 or 5 on each, hand, I guess. You know, he ain't Wolverine necessarily, but he does have these long, sharp claws that he could stab you with. And also, he fights like Voldo in Soul Calibur 5, but that's a whole other ballgame. What else about Slender Man game in general? I would say that the whole idea that you are being chased by this guy, I guess, per se, is that's kind of how the game works. You're kind of being chased by this guy. And you're also kind of just trying to find pages to figure out what happened. And again, I hadn't seen the end of it, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, really, there's a lot. There's a lot in there to say that Slender Man is a violent video game. But there's also a lot in there to say that it isn't. Or at least it isn't as violent as, say, the game you're watching now. Sure, it's bright and colorful and funny stuff happens, but it's still violent. And this is rated M for mature, by the way. You know, it's not T for teen. It's M for mature. It's got blood in it, for Christ's sake.
You have execute authority.
Okay, I'm gonna get off topic for a little bit and just say that the thing here, I think this is the one that I had, Girl Gamer Plays. I think this is the one I had. But if you look at the render, I actually have this other one where it's like dark pink and then has a bright pink circle and then has a slightly darker pink hand, like this pumped up. that's what I had on the rendered version of this. So I'm assuming this is what I actually had here. That's really weird. I don't know why it did that. But yeah. This, by the way, is also titled Trick Hunting. Trick Shooter Hunting, rather. Trick Shooter Hunting. That's what I called this. And you're definitely going to see why soon enough. But yeah, again, on the Slender Man topic. Yeah, I was going through Devil's Advocate and Angel's Advocate. You know, Slender Man is just not going to be violent to the devil. I mean, it's not going to be violent at all. It's an angel, Slender Man is extremely violent. Really. Or if not extremely violent, he's violent enough. Apparently, he's violent enough to incite violence in two girls who, well, I mean, no one should know violence, but, you know, hey, you're watching this, so this is obviously violence, you'll know it. There's that. But, I mean, two girls who just, you know, like, I don't get it. It's really scary, too, because, you know, you would think that, you know, girls or guys, you know, when they're friends, that they would be friends, and they wouldn't try to kill, you know, one another. Obviously, this poor 12-year-old who was stabbed, like, 19 freaking times, this poor thing. This girl did not see it coming, I'm pretty sure. Thank God that she was able to get out of that, and I pray she lives. And I'm not going to say to the two who would try to kill her, even if they did kill her, you know, that they deserve death. No. Something's going on up there. Something's going on up there in their heads, and they didn't have the morals, the moral heart thing going on at the time, to really think about the consequences. Because believe it or not, it takes some heart to think about the consequences of things. You know, for example, just a simple one. Let's just say, you know, the hands caught in a cookie jar thing. You know, kids shouldn't have a cookie before dinner, but a kid has a cookie before dinner. What could the consequence be? Let's say they have a favorite toy they like to play with. They like to play with basketball, right? Now, let's say their mom or dad or both says, you know, if you don't, if you grab a cookie before dinner, you can't play with your basketball. Well, that kid may not think about it and say, you know, I'm just going to cookie anyway. But they get their hands caught in a cookie jar. Unfortunately, they can't play with their basketball anymore. So finish their dinner. They already had their cookie, so they can't have another. And they can't play with basketball. Now that's really simple right there. It still takes a bit of a heart too, because, you know, in the end, the kid disappoints their parent or parents or guardian. They disappoint them. You know? It's not something really bad, like, oh, I pushed this kid off, down a set of steps, you know. Push this kid off a ladder, threw this basketball in this kid's face, or threw this football in this kid's other place that a football should never be thrown. You know. It may not be as serious to get your hands caught in a cookie jar, but it's still, you know, wrong. You're supposed to have dinner before you have your dessert. That's just how it goes. But let's take it to a bit of a further level. Let's say somebody's bullying somebody, right? And you know, they're not thinking about how it hurts someone. And let's say that this person who's doing it, let's say their life is actually, quote-unquote, great. They're actually having a good life. They have a lot of friends. They have popularity. They can do just about anything they felt like. And then there's this one kid who may not even be new in town. They may have lived there, like, all their lives in this town, right? And they're being poked fun at for, you know, their way they look. Maybe if they eat something, or if they don't eat something, or don't drink something, you know, party atmosphere type deal. If they don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't party, you know. They like to read, they like to write, they like to listen to classic music, or some other type of music. You know, they may even be the same music that the other person listens to, the bully. But, you know, the bully is still cooler, so it's popularity and all that. They don't think about what's going on with the other kid. Maybe the other kid also has a pretty decent life at home, but it's like at school, they can't catch a break at all. Right? And let's just say this person is so upset with themselves, the one who's getting bullied, they're so upset with themselves, that they decide they're going to hurt themselves. They may cut themselves, they may not eat as much, they may eat too much, they may, that was really sad right there. I don't remember who shot me, if it was a trick shooter or not, but that was kind of sad how that went down. But anyway, yeah, you know, they may, this is another one right here. just like, calm down already, thank you. But anyway, yeah, you know, that kid may hurt themselves. That kid may try and change themselves so that they look, or they seem to be more like the other people who are cooler, more popular and stuff. The bully's not ever thinking about how much what they say and do to them hurts that person. And God forbid that person gets bullied. Besides, I can't take it. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stab, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to burn something down, you know, something like that. God forbid they decide to be violent. You know, I couldn't take the bullying. We've had this happen. Kids couldn't take the bullying. They've shot, they've stabbed, they've burned, they've done things that they probably would have never done had they not been bullied. But of course the bully's not thinking about the consequence. They're having a good old time being popular and, you know, making fun of other kids and stuff, and then next thing you know, a consequence occurs. And then we sit there, back there and say, okay, so why did this happen? You know? And right then and there, the bully, they don't have morals or a heart going on, because they're obviously not even using their head to begin with to stop their bullying ways. It's just really sad. I'm actually going to go back just to show you some more of that again, and to kind of further discuss this so that you guys understand where I'm going, because I'm kind of rambling and I'm not really getting commentaries, especially if I'm trying to watch something at the same time. But yeah, basically, the bully obviously didn't have the heart at the time, because they're bullying. Number one, they're putting someone else down for whatever reason, and then something happens as a result of that. But again, they didn't have the heart, so obviously they're not going to use their brain to, you know, say, hey, I got to stop this, or otherwise something really bad could happen to me, to them, to anyone. So I mean, really, in the end, it's just a sad thing. It's a really sad thing. It's like, why? Just why? Girls, it doesn't make any sense. Girls and guys alike, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and then I've heard things where people say, you know, oh wow, you know, Doom influenced people to go on a shooting spree. No, that's, you're out of your mind. But really, if you play Angel's Advocate for a minute, you know, the games are obviously rewarding you, like this one here is rewarding you 100 plus for killing people, right? It's kind of a given. That's a clear-cut reason. Any first-person shooter, anything where you can stab people, anything where you can, like, murder or fighting games where you can just fight, you punch, you kick, you break necks and stuff like that, that's violent. That's clearly violent. So that's a clear reason why anyone would do anything violent. But Slender Man, you lost me. I mean, and to this day you will really lose me on that. It's really sad. Well, this is Girl Gamer Plays. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening through my commentary or rant or whatever you might want to call it. If I do plan on doing other commentaries, I hope to get better. If not, I really hope to get that, you know, proper recording equipment soon, and I hope to let the gameplays do all the talking then. Who knows, if I actually get things set up correctly someday soon, or someday in the way off future, I may even be able to do face cam. But for now, you have to just even wonder what I look like, let alone the rest. But again, thank you for watching and putting up with the commentary or rant or whatever you call it. And I hope to bring you better gameplay, or not better gameplay, but at least gameplay in with a better recording equipment soon. Yeah. Thanks again for watching and listening.